Have you ever felt like you were trying to financially keep up with your friends and the people on your social media feed? I think we've all been guilty of that. That used to be called keeping up with the Joneses, but there's a new term to describe this phenomenon. It's called money dysmorphia, and it's hitting Gen Zers, aka the generation born between 1997 and 2012. Apparently, they're getting hit the hardest. Here to break it all down for us, the certified financial planner, Bobby Rebell. Bobby, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's break this down. How do you suffer from money dysmorphia? What is it exactly?
Well, you said it so well when you talk about keeping up with the Joneses, but it is more nuanced and more complicated these days because it used to be we had one family, the Joneses, that we were all trying to keep up with. Now we scroll on social media and there's Jones after Jones after Jones. So the social media is sending us all of these images and all these videos and all this messaging. And it also got much easier to act on those impulses and act on those insecurities and anxieties that we all feel because we can just buy it right there instead of going to the store. And of course, some very real things are going on. We in the news media, we talk about real things like inflation, like housing prices, like student debt, credit card debt. This gives people a feeling of hopelessness and frustration because they feel like, well, gosh, I'm never going to reach these goals. What's wrong with me? Everybody else seems to be moving on with their life. What is it about me? It's really hard.
Why is Gen Z being affected most by this?
Yeah, well, first of all, they definitely have a feeling of conflict in that they do understand intellectually they should save for the future. But again, these news messages that they're hearing, you're never going to be able to buy a house. You're never going to be able to get out of this student debt. Well, they feel like, maybe I should just go on vacation now because I might never get to those other goals. So I might as well enjoy my life now. And they
Oddly,
see
I
it.
understand that.
Yeah.
But that's not a good idea, I'm assuming.
It's not a good idea.
Right.
No, they should absolutely pay attention to their own life. It's really hard to do this because we have so much messaging from other people, but we do want to look at our economy of one, as they say, and say, well, what matters to me? What are my values? What's important to me? Both now, but also in the future. And that means getting your act together financially and being, as I like to say, a financial grown-up.
So digging deeper, how does money dysmorphia affect one's financial well-being moving forward?
Well, unfortunately, it can have people making decisions that they wouldn't make otherwise that are not in their best financial interest. So they might, for example, see someone doing something that's aspirational to them, and then they're going to make a decision that's really not the best decision. So they might see on social media, for example, someone saying, hey, quit your 9-to-5 job. You can be a millionaire in 10 weeks after you take my course. Well, then you're quitting your job. That's not a well-informed financial decision. They also might put off saving and doing other things like that. And they might just feel so disappointed with themselves that it's going to affect their relationships and the way that they behave, and putting off investments that they really should be making at younger ages, not taking advantage of a 401k and not budgeting and things like that they know they should be doing, but they're going to put them off.
Right, deep down
because
inside.
They're having these anxieties. I mean, that's all what I talk about in my company, financial wellness strategies. We have so much financial stress that it takes away from our ability to do what we can do to better ourselves, for our own financial health.
So what financial advice would you give to someone to help them stay grounded within their own finances, not let that anxiety affect them so much?
Do a little math. Look at your numbers, because the truth is many of us have this anxiety about finances that is not necessarily true. Sometimes we're actually in a really good financial position, but these outside forces are making us feel irrationally that we are not in as good shape as we are. So take an honest look at your finances and then do some math. Track your actual spending, create realistic goals, put together a budget. And it can be a budget app if that works for you, or you can just take a piece of paper, Hannah, and just write down, here's what I make, here's what I have to spend, here's the extra money, or maybe I have a deficit. Make an adjustment. When you see the numbers, you can really stay focused on your goals and what really matters to you, not the Joneses.
You've always said it's important to track your spending. I know that's an age, that advice goes back centuries, decades, but why is it so important to stay within the budget? Let's remind those Gen Zers who may be anxious about it.
Yeah, because, well, because if you don't, you're going to regret it later. And I know that's so hard to hear. And I know we live in this society where we do want to have those experiences. But the truth is, it's what matters. You want to reach your goals. It's as simple as that. And this is the time when you're in your 20s and 30s to really take advantage. Because when I speak to young people, they often talk about the fact that they feel they don't make as much money as they will in the future, so they'll save more in the future. But the truth is, you often have the most discretionary money when you're younger, because you're not getting orthodontia for your children, and you're not worried about paying tuition, and you're not worried about groceries for an entire family, and you may not have responsibilities of a older adult, let's say. So take this time to really put yourself first when you're only responsible, you're your only dependent.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.